Hey everyone, I am Nixie, and today I wanted to sit down and just go through a few more mangas, manhwas, because I've already done a manga video of sort of what I was reading at the time and what was on my TBR list. So I thought I'd actually sit down and go through a few of my favourite mangas, manhwas at the minute, and then I've got a few on my TBR list as well, which we're going to go through. So grab a cuppa, grab a snack, and yeah, let's go through a few things. Okay, so we're going to start with my comfort manga, which also happens to be my comfort anime as well. So this is My Hero Academia. Oh, shine. I love this series so much. So these are a few of my favourite covers that I thought I'd show you. This one, number 11, Emotional Damage. I love this cover. So I thought I'd just show you a few of my favourite covers. I watched the anime over and over again. I've read the mangas and I keep up to date as well through the Shonen Jump, because there's new chapters released pretty much weekly, so I also keep up to date with those as well. And the end of this one, number 29, god, what a cliffhanger. So yeah, this is my absolute ride or die. I love it so much. Like, I love the character developments in it. Like, Bakugo's, his character arc is really good, like one that you don't expect to really develop deeply, but as it goes on, his character arc is one of my favourite in the series. I am an absolute Aizawa lover. I love him so much. He's such a character and he's just so cool. But yeah, I love the characters in it. There's so much depth to it. It's one of these where it's so intense, some of the storyline as well, like especially seeing it animated, it definitely keeps you on the seat. Like, when I first watched it, I absolutely binge watched as much as I possibly could. Like I say, just one of my absolute favourite ones. I'm sad that the writers said that it's going to be over within the next year, but I suppose everything has to come to an end at some point. But yeah, I'm super sad that it's going to be coming to an end sort of within the next year. However, as regards to the anime, we've got season 6 coming out this year, volume 30, at least in the UK. That's going to be out on the 28th of February, so very, very soon. I know people have already been picking it up in America and Germany and a few other places, which just isn't fair. So I know that we do still have a bit to go as regards to physical volumes and the anime, so we've got enough to keep us going for a couple of years, I think it works out at. So this is one that I'd recommend to everyone if you're interested. You know, some good action, superhero. So yeah, it might help if I actually explained a little. So this is in a society where people have things known as quirks, so they're basically superhuman powers. So it's the fight against good and evil and all of that good stuff, and it follows UA students, which is a school. So it follows a specific group of students and they fight against evil. Basically, that's a very, very basic explanation, but yeah, definitely go check it out. So next, I couldn't have this list without Zelda, specifically Twilight Princess. And I don't know why, but from playing the games to reading the manga, it's so weird seeing Link like have proper words. Because you never hear him obviously in the games, or he's a mute. So this follows the game pretty much to a T, but it's so nice to see how Link would interact with people. It gives him, for me, it feels like it gives him a lot more personality. And not a lot more depth, and he's got a lot more passion as well. So I highly recommend this as well. It's 9 volumes currently, and it will finish at volume 10. I'm not entirely sure when volume 10 is going to be coming out actually, but I love the artwork in this. Yeah, it's got really nice artwork. Link is a very, very beautiful character, which I know I've said this before. And let's get one. The big baddie. Beautiful character. So yeah, this kind of holds like more of a place in my heart because of the game, and I love the game so much, Twilight Princess one. So I think that's why also the manga holds a special place in my heart. They're in talks as well apparently for an anime, to adapt an anime series, because I know there was talks about doing a movie a while ago, but that never materialised. They're on about doing an anime series, and I believe it's the same people that did Castlevania. They're looking into doing a Zelda anime, which if that happened, that would just that'd be amazing. That's what we need some Zelda anime. Okay, next one of my favourites, which I spoke about in my last video, but I'm going to mention it again. I'll not spend too long, but Fangs. I'm still obsessed with this. It's only one volume so far. I'm eager for volume 2 to come out. However, I cannot find any information about when the volume 2 is going to come out, which is kind of frustrating because I need to know what happens. This was first printed June 21, so hopefully around the same time this year we'll get a volume 2. So this is just published by Tokyo Pop. It's great size. I like Tokyo Pop's publishings. The artwork, like I said last time, is beautiful. So yeah, the artwork's really nice. So this is, in case you haven't guessed from the title, Fangs. It's about vampires, and it's about a newly turned vampire who was out at a club, and there was an incident where a load of people got slaughtered, and he managed to survive somehow but got turned into a vampire. So he meets Ichi, I want to say. I'm probably butchering that. The dark-haired vampire, and he's basically partnering up with him to help him get accustomed to his new life as a vampire, because of course that would be one hell of a shock to wake up and find that you need blood to live, and you've got this unquenchable thirst. So yeah, it's about them. He's got a bit of a past that is slowly starting to come out, that he's got some old wounds that he's still recovering from. So I'm excited to see what his backstory is. There's a bit of spice in this, so it is a mature read. There is a little bit of violence in it as well, so just to make you aware of that. So more of an honourable mention for this. I've not finished reading it yet, but I just so happened to a couple of weeks discover this randomly while I was looking there, because I've pre-ordered a load of manga for the rest of the year. And this just so happened to pop up while I was looking through different manga, and it looked so cute. It looked so cute. And when I was out shopping on the weekend, I happened to see the first volume, so I was like, I am picking this up. So this is Creepy Cat. I had never heard of this until it had randomly popped up. It's a back cover as well. That's a back cover. Bit of shine, sorry. So this is about Flora, who inherits a mansion and moves into it, and it's already occupied by Creepy Cat. This was not what I was expecting at all. I just sort of saw that as a description, and I was like, sounds cute. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it must be like fate. I must have this in my collection. So I picked it up. I didn't even realise that it's in colour as well. Like I said, I've not finished reading it, and it's just like little panels, like page little stories like this. So it's kind of like events what happened between Flora and this creepy cat, and it does just remind you of life with a cat as well. I wouldn't really say he's creepy, but he definitely has some abilities, and he is a typical cat. So yeah, it's just about some really bizarre adventures. It's a fun read. You know, it's not one of those where you have to concentrate really hard on what you're reading and like take everything in. It's not one of those. It's a really light read, and I've enjoyed it so far. I love the cover as well, like the text here is raised as well. I love a bit of texture, me. I also love a matte cover as opposed to like a shiny cover, which this is, even though I covered them anyway. But yeah, so I like the texture of this, and like I say, the colours, you know, they're quite a dark palette, but they work really well, and it definitely made me laugh so far from what I've read. So yeah, I really recommend it. It's ages 10 plus as well, so you know, everyone can read it. Okay, so another one which I absolutely love is Solo Leveling. There's currently 3 volumes out. There's also a light novel as well, but I'm not as bothered about like the light novel. And volume 4 comes out 22nd of March, I think, in the UK, which I am so excited for. There's also going to be an anime which is coming out in the summer. I don't know if they've said the exact release date yet, but yeah, it's supposed to be coming out in the summer. I am so excited for that. So I've got 3 volumes, and I binge read these one after another, and it just got me so excited for the anime as well. So this is actually 179 chapters completed online, because it's a webcomic. So it is actually completed, and you can read all the chapters if you wanted to online. However, I quite like having the physical book, so I'm being very patient. I'm waiting. So there's about 3 chapters per volume, so there's going to be quite, hopefully it gets published anyway, but there'll be quite a lot of volumes to get obviously all 179 chapters in. But this is great. I love the artwork. It's in full colour. So it is about Jinwoo Sung, which is the guy on the cover. So it's in a world where portals open and there's dungeons, and inside there are monsters, and they are ranked between S and E, depending on their level, how dangerous the monsters are in there. So there's people born with the called hunters, and they are also ranked between E and S being the top. And teams of these hunters go into these dungeons to try and fight these monsters to be able to close the dungeons and obviously keep humanity safe. Now Sung, bless him, he is known as the worst hunter ever, the weakest hunter ever, and he's really there just to fill a space, and he also needs the money as well, so he gets taken along. So the first dungeon that we see in this volume is an absolute disaster, and the story basically goes on from there. I don't want to spoil too much. Just go pick up and read it. Like, just read it. It's very, very good action. So next is really a favourite mangaka that I just love their work. And that is the author of Birds of Shanghai. So this is 2 volumes. I picked this one up, the second volume, at the weekend. I had pre-ordered it, but I still hadn't received it yet, and then I saw this in the store and I was like, wow, I'm having it because I need to know what happens. I love this work, this mangaka's work. The artwork is so beautiful. The characters that they create are so beautiful. So these are the characters. This is Phi, and then this guy is Apollo, and it basically follows their journey. So Apollo, who is on the front of volume 2, he's actually going through a divorce, and he finds himself out on this little island, and he's just taken a job to become what's known as a teaser in a very classy male brothel place called Shanghai. So he is taken on as what's known as a teaser, so he's basically getting the other males ready for their clients, also known as birds. So the thing about Apollo is he's actually straight, and this is an all-male brothel. So it's about him dealing with this divorce and obviously interacting with Fi, who he's been partnered up with. Fi is a bird, and Apollo's been paired up with him to be his teaser. Now in the second volume it gets very interesting because we start to learn a bit more about Fi's past. He's had not the best upbringing, which we find out more about in this volume, and his past is sort of coming back to haunt him. So there's also 3 major rules to teasers that they must abide by while they are working in Shanghai, and some rules get broken. A major rule gets broken in this. I'm excited for the next volume. Again, I don't know when the 3rd volume is coming out because this one's only just come out. But yeah, I love the artwork, the characters as well. They never feel, the story doesn't feel like it's rushed. So with that in mind, with this from the same mangaka, I've also got a one-shot called Liqueur and Cigarettes, which is my favourite one-shot right now. I love this. So this is about Theo and Camilla. They are childhood friends, and they are now running their family businesses. So Theo runs a liqueur store, and across the road is Camilla's tobacco store. So the childhood friends, and they're in this small quaint town. Like, it looks beautiful, very sort of touristy, and it's coming up to the Great Harvest Festival, which happens every year. And also with that, every year there is a wine tasting competition. Now Theo gets roped into joining this wine tasting competition by another liqueur store owner who's kind of a rival, I guess you would say, but also a frenemy, I would say. He gets roped into it. However, Theo has a non-existent alcohol tolerance. So Camilla has said, you know, we'll practice drinking, build up your tolerance so you can enter it. And during this discussion, one of these discussions, Camilla actually confesses how he feels about Theo. That he has feelings for him. Camilla is openly bisexual, and this leaves Theo quite confused. So it's about their journey and what happens in their relationship from this revelation. Now the thing is, with one-shots, they can feel sort of rushed, like there's lots of events, lots of stuff going off, but there isn't really depth into what's happening. So it seems very rushed, and it sort of like leaves you wanting a bit more, like in an unsatisfied kind of way. This does not. This has loads of depth. The characters are well thought out. There's no drama in it either, which I like. It's just about Theo and Camilla, like, and more so Theo sort of like coming to terms with stuff. So no drama. Spicy. It is quite spicy, but I love, like I say, I love the artwork. So here's there's Camilla. You can see Theo down there as well. And it starts off with a couple of coloured pages, which is quite nice as well. But yeah, how cute does that look? That's like outside the stores, so they're opposite each other. But yeah, I think anything that this author releases I will buy. So they've also done Void, which there isn't an English publication of that. However, you can buy it digitally through Sublime. You can get it in other languages. I think it's Japanese, German, Italian. German, did I say that? German and Spanish, I think. Which is a shame. I would love a English physical copy. They also do Coyote, which is another great series. Volume 4 of that's coming out later this year, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I think whatever they release, I will be picking up. I just love the art style and the story so much. Like, they're very, very well written. Okay, another manhwa. I know it's super popular. A lot of people do know this one. So this is BJ Alex. So this is the English copy. They've started publishing this in English, which is great. Again, the art style I really like. There's a few pops of colour. Yeah, there's a few pops of colour in here as well, but it is kept quite muted. I love the actual like feel of these volumes, like the paper that it's printed on. There's a nice dust cover, which it does have another illustration on underneath. But I cover all of mine in plastic anyway, just to give it that extra bit of protection. So currently there are 4 volumes in English. However, it is 9 volumes completed. You can get the Korean version online as well, and you can read the full thing digitally online as well if you wanted to, which is what I did first. Hopefully volumes 5 and 6 will be coming out fairly soon, fingers crossed, based on how volumes 1 to 4 were released. And then I think they'll probably do 7, 8 and 9 in one go as well. So this is about Camboy, BJ Alex, this guy on the front cover, and he gets discovered, his true identity gets discovered by another guy whose name I'm going to butcher, Dongjun. Butchered that, sorry. So his true identity gets discovered, and it's about their sort of relationship. There is a side couple in here that everyone loves, Shanwoo and MD. Everyone loves them. They're such a good couple, like their chemistry is great as well in this. It is quite toxic. Alex is a red flag, but it's great. It's a great read. Very spicy. I highly recommend this anyway if you are into BLs. Like I say, it's got some toxic traits in here. I don't mind that. Okay, last thing on my favourites list. This holds my heart at the minute. It is so wholesome and so cute that it just makes me giggle like a little girl. So this is Sasuke and Me now. So I only have the 3 physical volumes. So far, volume 1 is out of stock and has been out of stock forever everywhere here. Volume 5 comes out in April, I believe. This is the cutest BL story ever. It's so wholesome. So this is about Mia and this is Sasuke. So Mia, it starts off with Mia witnessing a fight, and as he goes to stop this fight, Sasuke sees and he stops Mia from going there, and he goes to stop the fight himself. So Sasuke has one of his close friends, is also a friend of Mia as well. So they get interacting, they start talking, and Mia ends up lending Sasuke some BL manga, and that's how they start bonding over this manga. Both claim to be straight as well. However, Sasuke starts developing feelings for Mia. That's why I'm going to leave that explanation. So it's about those two and their blossoming relationship. So there are 8 volumes so far online. Like I say, the 5th volume is coming out in April, and it is ongoing as well, and I hope that they keep it ongoing forever. No, but I love it so much. like I say, it's just so wholesome. It's so cute. There's no like major drama or like toxic stuff that happens. It's just like, you know, there's the odd misunderstanding and then like trying to process feelings and all of that sort of stuff. And like I say, it's just so wholesome. There is an anime as well that had started airing, which I think is why a lot of volumes are out of stock. There's 7 anime episodes out at the minute, and I really recommend that you watch the sub, not the dub. The sub is much better in my opinion, like with the voice acting and everything. So I recommend that you watch it if you can with the sub. And it's sort of like typical high school life in Japan sort of trope, but the artwork is beautiful as well. I really do like the artwork in this. It's really, really great. Like I say, super wholesome. If anyone is looking to sort of like start getting into BL, or they've got a bit of an interest or want something just like light and fluffy, then this I would recommend every single time. Like, go and pick up a copy of this if you can find it, read it online, and watch the anime. It's just great. It's currently my top manga. Okay, so let's go on to my TBR list. So what's next on my reading list? So I also received Change World. So this is a follow-up to Sayonara Game, which is a one-shot. Like, it's fine. I don't really have any complaints about it. It was a good read. I wouldn't particularly say like it was like a favourite, but it was a good read still. So this is a follow-up to that after the events that happened in Sayonara Game, so I'm excited to get into this. There is a volume 2 coming out soon as well. One thing that's slightly annoying though is that the spine is not quite lined up. That's annoying. But yeah, so it's about the event after Sayonara Game. It's a bit spicy, mature read, but I'm excited to get into it anyway. Hopefully there's going to be the story will go more in depth with the characters, to be able to give more layers to the story and to the characters, really get into it. I don't know how many volumes it's planned to be at the minute, but like I say, volume 2 will be coming out soon. Next, I've got a Tokyo Pop one shot. This is The God and the Flightless Messenger. So this is a TikTok meme by it. It's supposed to be quite wholesome and quite a lovely story. So it's fantasy. There's a bit of violence in it and some adult themes. It's quite chunky. So I'm excited to get into this because I've seen loads of people go on about this. Also, another Tokyo One Pop is There Are Things I Can't Tell You. I picked this up at the weekend as well. However, I am slightly hesitant to read it because I've heard that it can be a bit of a heavy on the heart one shot, which I try to stay away from things that will give me hardcore emotional damage, like Given. That gave me emotional damage, even though I have been collecting the manga. The series, like, just people love it. When I first heard about Given, I thought it was going to be, you know, a lovely story about, you know, guys in bands. That it was going to be a really nice read and watch, and I was mistaken. That hurt my heart. But yes, I kind of have a feeling that this may do not quite as extreme as Given, but that this could be a bit of a tough read, as I'm kind of a bit more hesitant to read it. But I have heard that it's very good. Next is kind of a random one, but this is a Tokyo Pop series, A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation. So apparently this guy gets sent to a different time, and he meets up with this guy, and it's about sort of their adventures. So yeah, it's just a fantasy series. I've heard that it's quite humorous, which I love anything comedic as well. So I'm excited to get into this. They only had the 1 volume, but I believe that there's 4 volumes out at the minute, 4 or 5. So I'm excited to give this a go to see if it piques my interest, and I shall see if I can pick up the other volumes if I enjoy it. Okay, another TikTok meme by it is this one, Kaju number 8. So I've been seeing this popping up more and more as well. While I was out shopping as well, I saw that they had a bunch of these, and I was like, do you know what, I'll give it a go. I think it's only the first volume out so far. The artwork looks really good in this as well, so I'm intrigued to find this. You know, we all love some action. So yeah, I've only heard very good things about this, so I thought, do you know what, I'll pick it up and I'll give it a read. I also have another Tokyo Pop. Had Not So Lonely Planet travel guide. This just looked really cute and it sounded cute. So this is about a couple that go traveling around the world. The second volume is coming out. I had a notification because I did pre-order the second volume as well. That should be on its way to me, so I should have the second volume very soon. But yeah, this just looked like a nice, you know, sort of like finding out who you are type situation, traveling the world, getting to know each other more deeply, I guess. So I decided to pick it up and give it a go. There is some show themes. I don't think there's any spice. Implied spice, I would say, from the looks of it. So yeah, I'm eager to get into that. This is quite a chunky boy as well. So yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I also have Seaside Stranger. They only had volume 1, I know volume 2's come out. I don't know whether it's officially come out in the UK yet. But yeah, so I know that there's the movie, which I haven't watched yet. But again, I've seen everyone talking about this, especially since the second volume's been coming out. So I thought I'd pick it up. I thought that this was supposed to be like a really, really wholesome story, blah, blah, blah. I didn't realise that there was some spice in it. I've not read it yet, but I do always have like a bit of a flick through. So yeah, I didn't know that it was spicy. I was a bit confused as to why this was wrapped in plastic from what I'd heard. But yeah, so the artwork looks nice. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with this at the minute. Like I say, I just saw everyone going on about it, and there just happened to be a volume in the bookstore, so I thought, do you know what, I'll pick this up as well and give it a go. And then lastly is a complete random pick that I've not seen anyone talk about, and I just saw it in the bookstore and I was taken in by the cover. So this is Phantom Tales of the Night. So I just picked up the first volume. They didn't have volume 2. I don't know how many volumes there is. There was a couple on the shelf, but like I said, they didn't have a volume 2, so I was like, oh well, I'll take the first one, see how I feel, and then try and get the others if I enjoy it. So this is about an inn, but the payment is through people's secrets. So I'm intrigued to see how this story sort of unfolds and goes. But there's some interesting artwork in this volume as well. So yeah, they've got to tell their deepest, darkest secrets. So I'm intrigued. This is a yen press book, and I always like yen presses, like actual books as well, like the mat covers, like the Sasuke and Me. That's a yen press publication as well. I do like the feel of their books. So yeah, this was the cover that got me. So I hope it's good. Like I say, I haven't heard anyone speak about this, but surely there's got to be people out there that have read it. So if you have, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, whether it is a series worth collecting and reading. Let me know in the comments. So there we have it. I've babbled on enough. So that's what I've got to read, which I shall read over the next week or so. And some of my absolute favourites. Let me know what your favourites are. I'm pretty open to like any genre. I know it's pretty BL heavy, but there are some good BLs out there. So yeah, I am open to suggestions. Doesn't matter what sort of like genre it is. Let me know what your favourite mangas are, even your favourite animes are as well, so I can check those out. So I do want to keep this series going on the channel where we just talk about current reads, to read lists, sort of like little reviews on mangas, manhwas, and like I say, I want to know your guys' opinion. So I hope you do enjoy it. Definitely let me know down in the comments. So I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone.